Welcome! Today, we're diving into something that's absolutely critical for any business using cloud services like Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace. We're talking about how to protect your most valuable asset, your data. So let's jump right in with a big question, one that honestly a lot of businesses just don't think to ask. You trust a service like Microsoft 365 with all your important stuff. You'd assume it's completely protected, right? Well, the real answer might not be what you think. There's this really common belief that once your data is up in the cloud, it's kind of automatically safe from everything. It feels right, it makes sense, but unfortunately, it's a huge myth, and it can leave your business wide open to some serious risks. And look, this isn't some secret hidden away in the tiny fine print. Microsoft, Google, all the big cloud providers, they're actually very upfront about this. This single sentence, it changes everything. It puts the final responsibility for keeping your data safe right on your shoulders. So, what you really need to get your head around is this idea called the shared responsibility model. It's basically the rulebook that splits up the security duties between you, the customer, and the cloud company. Let's break down what that actually means for you. What's so interesting here is how clear the dividing line is. Think of it like this. Microsoft and Google, they're responsible for the apartment building. They make sure the power stays on, the main doors are locked, and the building itself is secure. But you are responsible for everything inside your apartment. Your furniture, your documents, your valuables. They secure the platform, but you have to secure your data on it. Okay, so what actually happens when that responsibility is overlooked? What are the real-world consequences when this data protection gap isn't filled? And the threats? Well, they're everywhere. And we're not just talking about some sophisticated hacker in a dark room. Honestly, some of the most common ways data gets lost are painfully simple. An employee accidentally deleting a crucial folder, a ransomware attack that locks up all your files, or even someone who's leaving the company wiping all their data on the way out. These are just everyday risks. And this number right here? Wow. This just perfectly illustrates the financial danger. According to a 2024 IBM report, $4.34 million is the staggering average cost of a single data breach in the ASEAN region. And that figure isn't just about paying a ransom. It covers everything. Recovery costs, fines, lost business, damage to your reputation. It is absolutely a business-altering number. And the impact, it goes so much deeper than just money. It can completely destroy the trust your customers have in you. It can disrupt your entire operation, and it can do long-term damage to your brand. In today's world, it's really not about if data loss will happen. It's about being prepared for when it happens. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. And yeah, the consequences are pretty severe. But let's talk about the solution. Because there is a clear, totally automated way to bridge this responsibility gap and make sure your data is always, always safe. This is the one core idea you have to remember. Using a cloud platform is amazing for getting work done, but it is not a complete data protection strategy by itself. It's just one piece of the puzzle. And a solution like NuBackup is built specifically to fill those gaps we've been talking about. And just look at the key features here. This isn't a backup you run once a week and just hope for the best. No, it's automated and it runs 3 times a day. That means it's constantly capturing changes, so you always have a recent point to go back to. And when you need that data back, the recovery is fast and flexible, giving you total control. So what does fully protected actually look like in your day-to-day work? What parts of your digital office are really being kept safe? This is so important. It's designed to protect way more than just your files and folders. It safeguards the collaboration and communication tools your business runs on. We're talking about your email, your shared documents, and yes, even your Microsoft Teams conversations and all your SharePoint sites. This visual here, it really shows you the power of that protection. See, it's not some all-or-nothing button where you have to restore an entire system just to find one email. It's about granular recovery. Look at that. You can find and bring back one single lost file from OneDrive, a specific conversation from Teams, or that critical email from Outlook, all without messing up anything else. That level of precision is what saves you so much time and stress in a crisis. When you get right down to it, what a dedicated backup solution really gives you is peace of mind. It's that confidence you get from knowing your most critical business asset, your data, is secure, it's compliant, and it's always recoverable. That lets you stop worrying about the what-ifs and just get back to running your business. And that brings us right back to where we started. The responsibility for your data, it's all yours.
So the only real question left to ask yourself is, have you taken the steps to make sure it's actually protected?
We're going to start with the main dashboard, which is kind of like your command center. It's all about total visibility and, being able to sleep at night. Okay, check this out. This one screen gives you a complete health check of your M365 world in like seconds. No more digging through a bunch of confusing menus. You've got your account info on the left, a clear count of who's protected right in the middle, and this super simple backup status on the right. The whole point is for you to glance at it and get a quick, confident, "Yep, we're protected," without any guesswork. Now, let's zoom in on that backup status panel. See those solid green bars? They tell you so much with such incredible simplicity. In just a second, you know for a fact that your OneDrive, Exchange, SharePoint, and Teams backups have been solid for the last 30 days. It's a really clear visual signal. Green is good. Green means your data is safe. And if you want to dive a little deeper, right below that overview, you get this awesome granular breakdown for every single service. So take OneDrive here. It doesn't just give you a vague checkmark. No, it shows you that all 15 active users are fully protected and even tells you the exact date of the last good backup. This isn't just a summary. This is the kind of detail that actually helps you. So, monitoring is awesome, right? Seeing all that green is great, but that's only half the battle. The real test of any backup system is the recovery. So now let's switch gears from just watching to actually doing. Let's walk through bringing a deleted file back from the brink. And here's the game plan. It's a super simple, logical 4-step process. You just pick the service, find the user, choose the exact moment in time you want to go back to, and then hit restore. No crazy complexity, just a clear, easy path to getting your data back where it belongs. So, the most important thing in any recovery is precision. You don't just want a backup. You want the right backup. You need the one from right before things went wrong. And this is where the whole concept of snapshots becomes a total game changer. A snapshot is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a perfect copy of your data, frozen at a specific moment in time. Seriously, think of it like a time machine for your data. So instead of just having one backup from last night, you have multiple restore points from throughout the day. It gives you the power to rewind to the exact moment before that file was accidentally deleted. And here's what that looks like in action. We're in the OneDrive recovery for a user, Nickel. See the calendar over on the left? And then that list of snapshots on the right? You can see there were multiple backups on February 17th alone. You just select the timestamp from right before the data was lost, and you're all set for the final step. It's that easy. Okay, so we found the right user, we've picked our time machine moment with the right snapshot. Now let's look at the final options that make sure the data goes exactly where you want it to go. Mission accomplished is just around the corner. Right after you click Restore, this little menu pops up. And I love this because it's not one of those one-click and hope for the best systems. You get precise, granular control over this last, most important phase of the recovery. Let's break these down, because they're really powerful. You can bring back just a single item or the entire folder. You can choose to restore permissions, and oh man, that is a lifesaver. It saves you that massive headache of having to reassign who can see or edit the file later. You can also restore to the original user, or, and this is so useful, you can send the data to a completely different user, which is perfect when an employee leaves. It's that kind of flexibility that makes this tool so darn powerful. And that's really what it all boils down to. From that high-level, at-a-glance dashboard all the way down to these granular restore options, the entire platform is built on this one idea, making really powerful enterprise-grade data recovery incredibly simple and accessible for anyone. So this has been a quick look at the NuBackup platform from the great folks at Nucleo Consulting, who really know their stuff when it comes to AI, cybersecurity, and IT outsourcing. Ultimately, tools like this change the whole conversation around data loss. It stops being about if it will happen and starts being about when. And the real takeaway is that with the right preparation and the right tools, the answer to when can be, we'll have it back in a few minutes. So the final question is, are you prepared?